I'm very excited to share the news with you that I finally got my PMP certification done.
Thanks to EduHubSpot.com and Varun's mentorship.
The material provided by EduHubSpot is fantastic and the mentoring is phenomenal.
I could not accomplish this feat without the outstanding mentorship of Varun.
I would like to thank EduHubSpot for all the support that was given to me in this journey.
If you're looking to be certified just like me, EduHubSpot is your go-to place.
Thank you, EduHubSpot, for helping me become a PMI Certified professional.
I want to give credit to my success to the EduHubSpot team.
Hey Theresa, congratulations for passing the PMP exam with above target score. I am so happy for you because
Yes.
I know the level of hard work you have given for this, and you deserve this, Theresa. So how is your feeling? How do you feel?
Oh, I feel so good, Gotham. It's just been great. And sometimes I wake up and I'm telling my husband, it really happened, right? I did pass. And he says, yes, you passed above target score. So it's been an awesome experience. I'm now able to watch movies because I haven't watched television. He said, no, we can watch television, and I can take over some of the house duties as well. So he's excited about that.
Yeah, I think more than your husband was so happy. I think so, because
you
were delegating a lot of your personal responsibilities to him, I believe.
Everything. He says, oh, wow, housework is a lot of work. So he did his job, and then he, made sure I was fed and the house was clean. He did as much as he could so that and every time I wanted to take a break, he said, don't you have a video that you need to do? So it was exciting.
That's nice. That's nice. Theresa, first of all, thank you so much for accepting for doing this interview. And let me tell you the reason why I'm conducting this interview: to motivate my students, and also any PMP aspirants who are watching this video, they should get motivated. And that's the reason I'm conducting this interview. And again, thanks for accepting this. Good. Let me start with questions. So please share your professional background, what you do.
Yeah, right now, project managing projects. I started in healthcare IT for being from a programmer to managing projects. But I realized that managing projects and being a project manager are two different things in my view, if you do not have your PMP certification. So I have a team, and there are project managers on the team as well. And I've seen just from observing them the skill set that they have. But my main responsibilities is to manage the team.
Thank you so much for sharing this. And I know you personally. You enrolled for a course last year, and due to some personal challenges, you had a break in between. And after that, you came back. See, I have a question. Once you came back, what strategies did you use to stay focused and motivated during the PMP preparation?
Well, I made lots of notes because, Mentor Varun always said, take notes, not just watch the videos. And the other thing was to, trying to stay focused. I couldn't do, multiple things. I went into a room and I basically sat with the videos and I listened, I made my notes. And some of the strategies also was, reviewing questions that were wrong. If I still had doubts, I reached out to you because I couldn't rest until I really understood. And once that concept was in me, I was good to go. And some of the other strategies that I used was using every new concept that I learned. I was using it at the house. I was using the PMP strategies as to complete tasks that I had to do in the house. And that really helped me. So I was starting projects from beginning to end using PMP strategies.
Oh, that's this is the first kind of reason I'm hearing, Theresa, because no one has told me this reasoning. So if I correctly understood, you started applying everything in practice, and that was motivating you, right?
Oh, that was motivating me, and the family loved it because I was, I said everything is time box. We have to complete this. We have to complete this, and they also knew what time box meant, and it was very interesting. But things were getting done very quickly at home.
Understand. Now, let's talk about your PMP exam. So, what I normally hear from some of the PMP aspirants who are reaching out to me, managing time is always difficult. That's what they say. In the actual PMP exam, Theresa, how did you manage time? How did you make sure you completed all 180 questions? What strategy you followed?
Well, I remember, Gotham was saying, the 80-80-70 rule.
Mm,
So those were the first things that I put on the paper, and not to overthink
mm,
anything.
mm,
And that's what I noticed. If I was thinking too much, then I was staying too long. So I was managing the clock, and I think that really helped me.
okay.
And anything that was left at the end that were long questions, I had just a few long questions at the end. But I remember Varun saying in his videos, read through it quickly. You don't have to read things three times, to get to it. And I was able to do that. Once I stopped second guessing myself too much and
Mm,
just wearing the PMP hat. And even during the exam, I kept hearing your voice and Varun's voice in my ear, and saying, especially, wear the PMI hat, wear the PMI hat. Or, another voice I heard was, Theresa, is that going to really solve the problem? So I said, oh, that's not going to solve the problem. That answer was too simple. And that those are some of the strategies that I help to manage the time.
Thanks for sharing this. And what advice would you give to someone starting the PMP certification process?
One of the main things that I would say is find find a program. Find a program like EduHubSpot that's going to mentor you from the beginning to the end.
Mm,
Because I needed, especially for me, I didn't have a lot of time. So I needed a program where there was a team of people working. Because with EDU HubSpot, I know it wasn't just you. It was Varun. It was the people behind the scenes. Varun kept mentioning the team behind the scenes that was working on this. And I needed a team that could break everything down, because I didn't have time to read a book. So I needed the videos to help me. So I found that the mentorship that I received from you guys, it was tremendous, and you held me accountable, especially getting the homework done in the time frame that was needed to be done. So I think that to me was one of the big advice. And the other thing is, follow the process.
mm.
Follow the process. And when the mentor says, when you said, Theresa, you're ready, I think that was the time for me to really jump, because the longer you stay, and that's my advice, the longer you take, and you start second guessing yourself.
Mm.
So I think that to me is one of the big advices. Just work with the mentor.
Thank you for sharing this. You're already a PMP certified. What would you do differently if you had to retake the PMP exam?
I think that was one of the things I even just mentioned. Take it as soon as my mentor said that I was ready. That was one of the things that I would do differently.
Mm,
um I was just overthinking too much. And I knew, and I remember you writing me saying, you know this, and just needed to trust that more. And but then the more I wrote to you, is the more you kept instilling that is me, Theresa. I've given you everything I have. You know the process. You're ready for the exam. And I think that's one of the things that I would do differently, was to get out of my head and just to follow your leadership to the end, and that would have been better.
So finally, now you believed me.
Yes, I
No,
do.
just joking.
Yeah, I went back to some of my emails, and I saw you said, I am giving you this in writing. You will clear this exam with above target. So I kept rereading some of that. My family and I would said, they said, see, Gotham told you that, you had nothing to worry about. So that was
Perfect,
exciting.
perfect. Last question, your experience with EduHubSpot.
Ah, you guys were awesome. I felt
Thank
like
you.
I was working with a team. Like, you guys were family. um, you never, I never felt alone. I never felt alone at any time. I know that I could just send an email and you schedule a Zoom call and quiet my nerves. The just especially the videos, they were so easy to understand, and Varun made them, you know, the examples were real life, so you could relate to them always, and um, there were jokes in between, so you were learning, but it wasn't too serious. So that for me was very supportive, and that's what I really liked about you, and Mentor Varun and just the team. Never felt alone. I would recommend this to anyone,
Thank you.
because I didn't. I sometimes it's like, can I do this? But you know, you constantly, just the process and the videos, and they weren't too long, and I could really understand them. That at times they're like, is it that simple? Sometimes I said that to myself, but Varun had this thing that I liked about him, where he will give you a reference to the either the PMP book or the process. He will give you some sort of a reference, and the questions. It wasn't. I could see his face answering the questions. The elimination technique. I mean, that really helped me in my exam. I was able to eliminate 2 questions, bam, right off the bat, 2 answers right off the bat. So I was able, only had to work with the remaining 2. So those Einstein techniques, all the different techniques, they do work. They do work.
Thank you so much, Theresa. Thank you so much. And thanks for saying you're going to refer us. I'm so happy.
Yes.
Good. See, thank you so much for taking time and sharing your experience, Theresa. So our interview is officially over, but I'm going to make it a little funnier. So
Okay.
I'm going to just ask you one word question. You have to answer me in one word. Okay. Let's get started. If there was a second life, you would love to come back as a man or woman?
Oh, definitely a woman. I think it's much more fun. Much more fun.
Your favorite hobby?
Reading.
Reading. Reading. Okay.
Reading. It takes you places that you can't even go to. So I love to
read. Okay, that's nice. One thing you love about summer?
The beach.
Beach. Hate about summer?
The heat.
Your role model?
My role model, actually my grandmother.
Oh, that's nice to hear. That's nice to hear.
A
habit you would love to give up?
Man, I think it would be eating chocolate too much.
Eating chocolates too much.
Yes.
all ladies have this weakness. Good, Theresa. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me, and thanks for being so sportive throughout the interview. And again, congratulations, Theresa. All the very best for your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. Thank you to you and your entire team. I have those 3 initials behind my name. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.